is 14 News.
They know good and well that this was done to embarrass me publicly.
Tonight at 10, a feud with the FOP. Evansville Police Chief Billy Boland responding tonight following a no-confidence vote from some members of the local police union. That's just ahead, but we start tonight with breaking news. You're looking live at an Evansville police scene. They responded to a reported shooting. This is near Sam's Food Mart on Washington Avenue. Officers telling us that a victim was taken to the hospital. We are working to learn the victim's condition and if police have any suspects. Stay with us for a 14 News update. And now to our top story, a vote of no confidence by the Fraternal Order of Police. We broke the story when the results came in, and they say this was the first time they've taken a vote of confidence in Evansville.
This was just the way that we think that it would get his attention and that he would see that there are issues.
This isn't about dialogue, it's about not getting the answer that you want.
Today, leaders of the police union and the police department say the vote is a result of ongoing labor management issues, but they agree they never wanted it to reach this point. And now, for the first time tonight, we are hearing from the man at the center of the controversy. Our Evan Gorman here now. And Evan, you had a lengthy conversation with the chief tonight.
That's right, Jackie. I spent about an hour with the chief in his office, and we talked about everything from overtime to transparency. Chief Boland tells me he's not surprised that the union held this vote or the outcome. Appointed chief in 2012, Billy Boland, who's been with EPD for more than 2 decades, sharing on social media Tuesday emails from the chief. Very few details have come out about those, but according to the chief, they could be released as soon as tomorrow. It's a story we'll be covering, Jackie.
And before the vote, Mayor Lloyd Winnecke told us that he backs Boland and will not remove him as chief. You can find our continuing coverage on this story right now on our 14 News app, including both news conferences that we streamed live for you today. Developing tonight, a tri-state teacher is in jail accused of having sexual contact with a student. Henderson police say a student reported Evan Harvey had sexual contact with her while he was teaching at Central Learning Academy. Investigators say it happened several times during the last school year. Henderson County Schools confirm his contract was not renewed for this year, and we've learned that he's now teaching in Davis County, but school officials there say they suspended Harvey as soon as they learned of his arrest. Harvey is in jail facing a sodomy charge. Right now, a flooding emergency in southeast Texas. You can see what Tropical Depression Imelda left behind. Some areas measuring rain in feet, not inches. It's so bad, state officials closed a major interstate. The storm also led to several water rescues in the region as flash flooding stranded drivers. Emergency officials say more than 1,000 people have called 911 for help.
It looked like every highway in there was a creek.
Yeah, it just flooded. Nothing you could really do.
And Jeff, you have been tracking Imelda for 2 days, making landfall, still not over yet.
Yeah, we still have some rain, but Jackie, it has dwindled down a little bit. On 14, first look at 9, remember we talked about that trend kind of shrinking up. And look, though, what's in the wake, and it's no surprise there's a flood emergency there. The radar estimates of rain are topping out near 20 inches here in this gray zone, which is over less humidity, though.
Thanks, Jeff. An update tonight, an 8th death now being linked to vaping and vaping-related illnesses. The CDC says there are 530 other cases of illness in 38 states. Their latest report shows more than half of the patients are under the age of 25, and roughly 3 out of 4 are male. Doctors with the CDC expect more deaths as they continue to search for what is causing it. Addressing tonight what's taking so long.
Patients may not even know what's in the products that they've been using. Patients may have been using a number of products, and they may not know which is the one or more that led to the injury they're experiencing.
I believe many of the illnesses involving vaping have vaping THC. E-cigarettes have been marketed as a safe alternative to cigarettes, but some vape shop owners say the recent illnesses are changing people's opinions.
Our customers are going back to cigarettes because they're afraid that their vaporizers are now all of a sudden after 10 years going to kill them. Just our 9 stores alone, we're seeing $18,000 worth of business going back to smoking cigarettes.
The CDC is running an emergency operations center right now focused on vaping. New tonight, the former president and CEO of Deaconess Hospital will become the CEO of Methodist Health. In a news release, Deaconess announced Linda White will start in her new position in October. As we've reported, Methodist became affiliated with Deaconess a year ago. Methodist board members say they believe White will strengthen the partnership between the two health groups. We've learned Methodist's current president and CEO will become assistant CEO and CEO of Methodist Health, Union County. A new development in a two-county chase and kidnapping investigation. Francis Wilkins and Robert Chelko were originally accused of kidnapping a woman and her two kids, as well as attempting to kidnap a child before leading authorities on a chase. Davis County Sheriff's officials now tell us the woman who first said that she'd been kidnapped now claims that she went willingly into the car. The sheriff's office has decided to drop that charge against both men. It's harvest season and tri-state farmers are squeezing the most out of their daylight hours, but it also means you'll likely share the road with a combine or two. Ag experts say now is the time to practice extra patience on the road. They say rural roads are often narrow and farm equipment is big, and it can be a dangerous combination for traffic. The 2018 Indiana Farm Fatality Summary shows 34 people died in farm-related incidents in Indiana, and that number is well above a 10-year average.
And anywhere from 30 to 50% of farm fatalities involve tractors, whether they're someone's being run over or whether it's rolling over on top of them or they're falling from tractors, combines, and machinery of the type.
And chances are you'll see most farm equipment on the road near dawn and dusk. Until harvesting is done, Indiana is home to 58,000 farms. And a sad update tonight from Newburgh. A 16-year-old girl that we featured on 14 News in July died this morning. We met Sarah Schoenbachler on her half-birthday. She was suffering from complications of cerebral palsy. The Green Springs subdivision put on a Christmas in July parade for her, featuring her favorite animal, bright pink flamingos. The community rallied around Sarah, decorating their homes and yards. Sarah would have turned 17 in January. No school tomorrow for students at St. Benedict Cathedral School. They have bats in the attic. Catholic Diocese officials say a maintenance worker found evidence of a colony of bats in one of the school buildings. They say they'll close the school tomorrow so they can figure out how to get rid of the bats. School officials say students will take part in an e-learning day instead. New at 10, he had no friends, no family either. A veteran died alone in southern Indiana, but a community is making sure he's not forgotten. And a scare in the air. An in-flight emergency had some passengers fearing the worst.
It's never really something that you ever expect to experience.
14 News is sponsored by...
I will cherish this.
No friends, no family. A Navy veteran died in August, and a southern Indiana community made sure he wouldn't be buried alone. Rachel Krause takes us to Madison, where dozens showed up to pay their respects to a stranger.
That really holds a special place.
Corzine is the 16th veteran without a family to receive a free funeral from Morgan and Ney Funeral Center in Madison. New tonight, this has to be pretty scary. This is what it looked like on board a Delta flight descending 30,000 feet in less than 10 minutes.
It's never really something that you ever expect to experience.
Pilots on the flight from Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale yesterday say they got a cabin pressure warning and they acted quickly. Inside the cabin, oxygen masks dropped. Just 8 minutes later, the plane was on the ground in Tampa.
I liken it to when you're on a roller coaster and you go down a steep hill. It's sort of just the stomach comes up into your throat.
In a statement, Delta apologized to customers, saying the flight was diverted out of an abundance of caution. Ivy Tech is hoping to inspire high schoolers to start thinking about careers. Today, students from Mount Vernon and North Posey High toured the school, getting hands-on training in the medical field. Students found each other's pulses and learned CPR techniques. Ivy Tech offers a variety of programs for students interested in medical professions, and they also partner with the University of Evansville and University of Southern Indiana for medical degrees. Clear skies tonight, but some much-needed rain is on the way. Jeff shows us when in his first alert forecast. And
I'm just blessed to be in that situation.
A man escaped as his house caught fire, and a passerby now being called a hero. An update now to breaking news. Evansville police confirm a man is in the hospital after being shot. We sent you a breaking news alert about this shooting near Sam's Food Mart on Washington Avenue. Officers on scene tell us that the victim is expected to be okay. They say they don't have any suspects yet, but they are working to review surveillance video to figure out what happened. Stay with 14 News for updates. Let's go now to the Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons has your first alert forecast.
And Jackie, really no problems here until the weekend, and rain really isn't a problem at this stage in the game. We need it, so let's start first out in the Atlantic Ocean. You see the whole eastern half of the country here pretty sleepy tonight, with the exception of the rains ringing out of Imelda down there in Texas. But what I want you to look at is...
Well, tonight an Evansville man is okay after his house caught fire. Neighbors say it's thanks to a passerby. We brought you this breaking news on 14 News at 11. Crews were called to the fire on Oakley Street this morning. Buck McNary says he noticed the fire during his morning walk. Witnesses say McNary jumped into action, helping the man escape the fire from an upstairs bedroom.
The flames were extreme. When I say extreme, that house flamed up fast, very fast. I've never seen a structure burn that fast as that structure caught fire.
Nobody was hurt in that fire, and investigators are now looking into the cause. Well, these stories never get old. A Navy dad showed up to surprise his kids at school. Senior Chief Michael Forian is home from Iraq, and he's been there since April. He has 4 children, and his mission today was to surprise them all. First up, his kids in grade school. Then it was off to his daughter's high school. And finally, surprising his 11-year-old son at his middle school. And now it's time for some much-needed family time.
Yeah, we're definitely going to relax, spend as much time as we can with each other. My wife is amazing. The fact that she can do all this by herself, I mean, you know, me being in Iraq, it's difficult.
I am so happy that he's home and he gets to be with us, and, you know, we get to be a family again.
And he'll have to return to Iraq in about 2 weeks. New tonight, Starbucks is stepping into the future. They're planning to roll out a new store where you can't even place an order in person. Find this story and learn how it works right now. Just search Starbucks on our 14 News app.